Hello everyone. I'm pretty sure by now every one of you heard about some sort of issues with Tesla's service. And today I had a very interesting day when I had the opportunity to compare a Tesla service to pretty much a leading ICE manufacturer, Honda. I had the two cars that I had to drop off for scheduled service. One of them is my Tesla, and the second one is my better half's Honda CR-V. She bought it before she met me, so please don't blame her, or me especially. So I just want to tell you my experience, what I felt like, positives and negatives about the experience, and I would like to start with Tesla. So I scheduled it a few weeks ahead, actually probably closer to a month ahead. There's a little bit of a waiting time, so maybe that's a negative. Let's count it as a negative. You cannot just stop by, next business day if you had some sort of like a non-emergency issue. They actually do deal with emergencies differently. I had experience when I had the AC issue, and I know for most of you it probably does not sound like an emergency issue, but here in Florida, especially in the middle of a summer, if your AC is not working, it's not really possible to drive. It was a summer days, and it was like around 100 degrees almost, and humidity, and without AC it was really difficult to be anywhere near a car. So they took me in without any appointments. I understood my situation. It was great. But this is a scheduled maintenance, so you schedule it about a month ahead. Depending on your service station, it might take a little bit longer, a little bit faster. And my list was pretty large, to be honest. I had, I want to say, about 10 issues, mostly just a small minor issues, a little bit of a rattle noise here, a little bit of, loose item there. When you're paying for a car that much money, you want it to be perfect, obviously. So, and also, the major reason for me to actually drop my car is that I'm retrofitting a HEPA filter, the biodefense mode. So, again, living in Florida, we have a lot of pollen, we have a lot of, all those particles in the air. It's, despite what many of you think, despite what I used to think before I moved here, it's not very great air here. It's not very easy to breathe, especially if you have an allergy or something. That's not great. So I'm installing this filter. That's the only option I did not get on my car, which I kind of regret, but at the same time didn't, because the option was included in the premium package, which at that time cost $5,000, and I did not want absolutely anything else except the package, except the HEPA filter in this package. So $5,000 just for the filter sounded a bit excessive for me, so I did not get it, but now it's cost only $500. So I dropped off my car at 9:30 o'clock in the morning. It was scheduled. I actually been late about 5 minutes. They see me almost instantly. There was one person ahead of me, so I had to wait for about 6 to 7 minutes, which is again fair because I was late for 5 or 6 minutes. They saw me right after. They're extremely friendly, very respectful, and very punctual. I feel like they really respect my time, every single minute of it. As soon as I made my coffee there, I was preparing, for the wait and stuff. As soon as I made my coffee, a technician actually came out, and he wanted, to actually see all those issues so that I can actually show him what exactly I'm experiencing and what I don't like, what I would like them to take a look at. We went through with him. We went around the car. I showed him what my concerns are. He actually explained me how some of the parts of a car work, in terms of why I might hear some noises here or there and how is it interconnected. I felt like, in education class, like those people are very knowledgeable, which is the way it supposed to be, obviously. But still, for some reason, I was still surprised that, like, hey, they're not trying to sell me some sort of like a fairy tale story about that, oh, it was just a side wind noise, that's why you heard those noises. No, they were very reasonable. They explained me, what's going on, and they will still address those issues. Some of them actually I have to wait as a back order part because it's a known Tesla issue issues, but they haven't really released a fix yet. So although they did recognize that it is an issue, but I have to wait a little bit. Not life-threatening, nothing concerning, just a tiny little noise. So first world problems, right? It took about 20 minutes because, like I said, I had about 10 issues, so we had to walk through quite a bit here and there about the car, and we had a very nice chat with the technician. They told me, they will take care of everything, and they hooked me up with a loaner. Immediately. I didn't even ask anything. I wouldn't dare to can I have some Model X to play around with or anything like this. I just asked hey, is there a chance I can have a loaner? Is there a chance maybe I can have a Tesla loaner? Just I don't feel like sitting in the gas car anymore. Again, I know, spoiled, but still, if you buy a Tesla, you probably should have a Tesla loaner. Probably. I understand it's not always the case. Better any car than walking, but still, I asked them very politely, hey, is there any chance I can have a Tesla? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. You booked the appointment in advance. We, set up everything for you. So they gave me the car that I'm sitting on right now. This is a P100D, brand new. When I got the car, it had 29 miles on it. I'm actually physically the first person since delivery of that car to that service center to actually drive it. This is amazing. It is in the chill mode, which means my acceleration is limited, and I promised them not to push it. Obviously, not my car. I would never dare to do that anyway. But still, it is locked in chill mode, and the maximum speed is locked to 85 miles an hour. Again, very reasonable. I would not ever dare to drive not my personal car faster than this. So, absolutely agree with what they had to do. And, amazing car, beautiful. So overall, 5 minutes I spent on the reception, just checking in, getting my coffee. They have a Tesla Cups. Did you know that? Cool. So coffee was alright. So 5 minutes at the reception, then about 20 minutes talking with the technician, just going over all, issues here and there. And that's pretty much it. They gave me a keys from brand new $150,000 performance Tesla and say, okay, we're gonna keep you updated. They communicated with me through text messages all the time, so I always know what's happening, and I was on my way. So from in to out, it took me 30 minutes overall, with counting even parking time, everything 30 minutes. And then I had to go home and switch the car back to CRV to deliver Honda to, again, official. We're not talking about some sketchy garage, although it is a 10 years old Honda, but it's not being driven a lot at all. It's being driven probably 3,000 miles a year. So I know it sounds ridiculous, but yeah, it's our third vehicle and very rarely used. But there's a tiny little bit of a rattling noise somewhere from the brakes, and just for the safety of it, we wanted to check it out. And also there's a recalls with the airbags. So nothing major. They knew about all those issues in advance. When I set appointments, they knew exactly what I'm coming from. And the good news here, the benefit of your let's call it common car dealer service, is I were able to book an appointment for the pretty much next business day. It was Friday, so they agreed to see me on Monday. So let's call it next business day. They see me in a time, a lot of times available, so not a problem at all. Easy. Okay. I pulled up, they told me just pulled up an express lane. I'm like, express lane, that sounds cool and fast. I love it. So I came there exactly at the correct time, and as soon as I pulled up, they didn't even, I see the car in front of me, nobody is actually coming out of a car. I'm like, whoa, this is really express service when you actually sit in the car. They just came to the car, rolled down the window, and they're like, oh, do you have an appointment? I'm like, yes, I booked an appointment, just a couple tiny little things and an airbag, and that's it. They're like, yep, we see your name. Actually, the only problem is we all right now at the dealer meeting. So the whole dealer center, all the service people, everybody is at the dealer meeting. So we'll see you later. if you can just wait in the lobby, we will let you know. I was like, what? You in a meeting? Like the whole entire place, they were in some sort of meeting, and they're like, yep, sorry. I'm like, okay, like, well, what's the point of appointment? Because they gave me an available time. Isn't the whole purpose of being available means that someone will be there available to see me at that time? I felt pretty bad about that. I'm like, okay, I guess I have to wait for your meeting. God knows how long it's gonna last, but okay. So I went to their lobby. They were very polite still. Like, you know, I cannot say that, you know, I felt like, you know, abused or, you know, in any way like discomforted, you know, by their actions. So they offered me coffee and cookies. Cookies were alright, that's good. Tesla did not have cookies, so +1 to Honda, -1 to Tesla, or 0 I guess to Tesla. Tesla did not have cookies. Honda did have cookies and did have a coffee. Tesla only had coffee. So yeah, I guess so far Honda is going ahead. So never mind. I went inside in the lobby. There was already a lot of people waiting, and I noticed quite a few people sitting there with their iPads and laptops. I'm like, you know, it's like when you came to a coffee shop and there's a bunch of students sitting there for half a day with their laptops, like actually working and doing stuff, watching movies, you know, not for 5 minutes, quick, you know, come and go. I'm like, oh, well, you guys look just funny. Like, it's an express service. What are you doing here with your laptops out? Like, that's nonsense. Anywho, fast forwarding about 40 minutes after that, the meeting was over. I'm like, okay, well, now finally somebody maybe will, you know, start looking at the car. I was trying to come back to the car, which was still just standing there in express lane. They're also using a lot of VIP words pretty much everywhere. At every counter is like, you a VIP? I'm like, ooh, VIP, cool. By the way, just, you know, to kind of like answer this question in the comments, if anybody will ask, there was not even a possibility of an option of a loaner, period. Not an option. Keep in mind, guys, I'm replacing an airbag, okay? So it's not like they just changed my engine oil or anything like this. An airbag. So sounds like, you know, pretty decent job to do, like worthy enough for like, hey, let us take a look at your car so it's safe and you just, you know, go ahead with your day. No, not the case. They're like, nope, you go in the lobby and you wait. I'm like, okay. So I was trying to come back to my car, and they just told me, no, it's not necessary, you know, just wait in the lobby. We're gonna take care of it. About an hour forwarding from that, a person comes back, and except the airbag, the concern was though some rattling noise from a front wheel. Sounds like, you know, something touching each other, you know, just either brake pad or something very straightforward, and noise was so loud you could hear it across the road. Like, you don't have to be a mechanic to understand that something is wrong, and you can hear it. They came back to me an hour later and say like, oh, we don't hear anything. I'm like, well, that is not possible. Like, as soon as you sit in the car and drive 5 miles an hour, everybody will hear it. Everybody in the surrounding like half a mile radius will hear it. Period. They're like, okay, we're gonna look again. Of course they found it. It's so, I felt disappointed because I knew at that point that they didn't even bother to drive it, and they came back to me like, nope, everything's good. Like, no, it sounds like the wheel gonna come off. It's not good. Please check it, please. They came back again to work on the car, and overall, fast forwarding the whole thing, don't want to waste too much of your time, I waited there 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. They wouldn't let me go. Well, okay, they would let me go, but they wouldn't give me a loaner or anything like this. Not even an option. So I had to sit there without a laptop or anything. I was not prepared as those smart people. At that time, I understood that they are smart and I am a dum-dum. I had to bring like an iPad or a laptop so I can actually do something, and I didn't. So I've been constrained to my phone, you know, for 3.5 hours, just looking at this tiny little stupid screen that I hate. And after this, they done. They charged me almost $80 for diagnostics. when I literally point my finger like, there's an issue, this is what needs to be changed, please just fix that, that's what's making a noise. First an hour they just did not want to acknowledge that there is even a noise, and then they had to run diagnostics to actually find out the part that was bent, to tell me like, oh yeah, it's bent, it has to be fixed. I'm like, duh. That's why I came here, that's why I point my finger to it and told you please replace it. I don't need a diagnostic, I know what's wrong with it. Anywho, I had to pay for diagnostics. The actual part was tiniest fix possible, so they did not actually have audacity to charge me for it, because there's nothing to charge for it. Like literally, you could just kick it with your leg in the right direction and it would be fixed. And that's pretty much exactly what they did. So that's done, and and then I got back home. Again, driving this Honda, and then I got back to this loaner and kind of feeling the difference, and it's just fascinating. It is fascinating that and people keep like throwing rocks at Tesla in terms of like, oh, your service is horrible, you need to work on that. I don't know, guys. I mean, what do you think? Of course it can be improved. I think the only thing that should be improved with Tesla service is just they need more service centers. They need more technicians, they need larger centers so that they can take care of more people faster, so that there won't be a month of a waiting period. I cannot even imagine what's the waiting period in, let's say, California. I don't know what's the situation there. Let me know, guys, if any of you from California, what's the lines like waiting periods are like there. Because here in Tampa Bay, like I say, it's about a month. So, and I can see how some people would be frustrated with this. It is not very fast. But then again, if it's an emergency, they will see you. They will go out of their way and they will take you and they will see you and they will give you a loaner. Yes, I heard a lot of stories that did not always have Teslas as loaners. Sure, they will always give you a loaner. If not Tesla, then they will give you a gasoline car. I know we're so spoiled as a Tesla owner, so we're like gonna cry immediately, like, no, I want my Tesla. But hey, again, better than walking, right? Better than how I've been treated at Honda. And I paid for this service. Right now, what I'm dropping my Tesla, everything except this filter, everything is actually just under the warranty. I'm being, very spoiled child there, and like, I don't like this noise, I don't like this. And they're changing it all for free. For free. The key word is for free. Okay? And for this free service, under the warranty, free, they give me $150,000 loaner. In a Honda, although it is a 10-year-old car, they gave me a bill for over $300 just to top up my liquids, the brake fluid, and it wasn't even needed to be replaced. They put it like at a medium range, whatever, from like, oh, you have to like replace it to like it's full. They put it in the medium, and still they gave me all the pricing for like $300 just for the liquids alone, guys. Like, what? On a Honda that's probably overall cost, I don't know, $7,000. So in terms of how much the actual car costs versus the service this car requires, oh my gosh, that's a lot. And I got no loan and nothing. I don't know, what do you think Tesla can possibly do to improve their service? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, especially if you're a Tesla owner and you own a second vehicle which is non-Tesla. I would like to hear your experience, what do you think about it? My personal answer to this is that this is the last, my better half owned this CRV, and she doesn't know much about cars. She doesn't really care. It drives forward, it drives reverse. That's all she cares about. I understand. But in our family, there will be no longer any ICE vehicles. I can promise that. As soon as this car have any major issue or anything goes wrong, it's gonna be another Tesla in the family. That is for sure. And mainly, yeah, because of the service. I felt this day been a game changer for me, for sure. I have three Teslas in the family right now already, and they all been regularly serviced, and I love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think the technology is there to do it all through, you know, mobile application, to update me through text messages. I feel like I'm living in actually 2019 with them. When I sit back in Honda, I feel like, you know, 18th century or something. I don't know. I don't feel like those people respect my time. And I'm not saying that my time is worth that much. Sure, it's not. But I don't think it's up to them to decide, you know. Every single person's time should be respected. Period. Doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a company or, you know, you just, you know, student. It doesn't matter. Your time should be respected. And I did not feel that way at Honda. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very similar experience at any other dealer, conventional dealer, let's say like this. I did not feel this way at Tesla at all. I absolutely love it. If anybody from Tesla Service Center sees this video, you know that I'm not sponsored or anything like this, but I love you guys. You're doing an amazing job. Please just keep doing it. You're doing a great job at all the service, all the requests that have been coming, you know, with all those little tiny issues here and there. I never felt disrespected. I never felt that, you know, somebody's, you know, not taking me seriously or anything like this. So great. Thanks a lot. Please let me know in the comments what do you think, and hopefully I will never ever have to go to ICE service again ever in my life. Hopefully, crossing my fingers. And I will talk to you later, guys.